Next at 6, COVID cases keep rising in Oregon, and most of the severe infections are in people who aren't vaccinated.
I feel really lucky because I feel like if I wasn't vaccinated, I would be in the hospital.
This morning, hear from one of the breakthrough cases happy he got the shot.
Then, mounting frustration over gun violence in Portland.
Safety is at stake, human life is at stake.
Portland police say they can't keep up, and they're struggling right now to fill positions on their new gun violence team.
Plus, sporting a new bronze medal, Olympic athlete Raven Rogers returns to Oregon. We'll show you the moment she stepped off the plane at PDX to greet her friends and family. We'll also have all the latest Olympic coverage live from Tokyo. KGW News at Sunrise starts right now.
I always like to point out when it's Friday. It is Friday.
Say it again and again and again.
It's Friday, my friends. This is the Olympic flame there in Tokyo. We've been showing you this for the past 2 weeks. Our final weekday of coverage from the Tokyo Games right here this morning. But we're not done with our coverage. We've got plenty to go this hour.
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for watching. Chris is in for Rod today. He'll have the forecast in just a second. But first, we want to head to Portland Japanese Garden. Nina is there live this morning, wrapping up a good 2-week run. Good morning, Nina.
Wrapping up and pouring something.
You guys almost interrupted me. I was just about to take a sip of my sake because we have the fun stuff coming up for you guys here in about 45 minutes live from the Umami Cafe at Portland Japanese Garden. We have a sake samurai. I know that is a very cool name, but it is actually a title, and there are only, check my notes, 80 around the world. One of them lives right here in Portland, and he brought some sake to taste. One of them made right here in Forest Grove. We've got some sweet treats here that you can get at the Umami Cafe at Portland Japanese Garden. We are celebrating all things Japanese and Northwest here on our last sunrise show through the Olympics. So you guys, come back for some sake. I'll see you here in 45 minutes.
If you're asking us to do a cheers with you, we are a bit empty-handed here in the studio. Oh, Brenda's got some coffee now. Brenda's got her coffee. Chris has the weather clicker.
Cheers to some rain. How about that?
Yes.
I saw it this morning driving in. I actually had to use the windshield wipers driving into work.
Yeah, that means the oil slicks are going to be just a little slicker out there on the roads this morning, right? Let's take you live to our Rose City sky camera, kind of a gray sky over downtown Portland, right? And yes, the radar still works, and it is detecting some light rain across southwest Washington and extreme northwest Oregon this morning. It is not making it over the mountains, though. Here's a live look from Oregon's Veterans Home in the Dalles. You can see the cloud cover banked up against Mount Hood, kind of shrouding out the top of the mountain. There's 70 right now in the Dalles. Last check at PDX at 67, at 65 in Beaverton, and Salem waking up to 65 degrees. The plan for today, a couple of early sprinkles. We'll go with sun breaks this afternoon and highs in the mid-70s. Back to you.
Chris, thank you. Topping your news at 6 o'clock, the increasing COVID cases in Oregon. The Oregon Health Authority reported 4,000 new cases in just the last 3 days.
And most of those cases involve people who are not vaccinated. But as Pat Doris reports, we're also seeing a small number of breakthrough cases.
The flashbang started.
Randy Blazak is a Portland sociology professor, someone not afraid to go to the front lines of history, as he did when he shot this video last June at the Portland riots downtown. But these days, he's not going anywhere. He's quarantined in his basement.
It knocked me on my can.
Blazak has COVID, and yes, he is fully vaccinated with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Like a lot of us, it made him feel safe.
One of the reasons I'm happy to talk about this is there's a lot of people like me that are vaccinated that are probably thinking that they're okay now.
Yeah, like they're bulletproof.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, 10 foot tall and bulletproof.
But that is not the case. In the last week of July, Blazak took his wife to Mount Tabor to watch the sunset and discovered this dance party. He hung out there and thinks it's where the COVID virus got him.
I think that's what happened is my head was still in sort of like March or April when I thought I could go maskless, and the Delta variant just changed the matrix, and it got me. It got me.
He's not alone. The Oregon Health Authority reports that in June, 1,790 Oregonians who were fully vaccinated tested positive for COVID. It is a fraction of the more than 2 million people vaccinated statewide, but it's also not nothing. And it's not a surprise to the experts. Dr. Bukoze Dubé is a senior health advisor to the Oregon Health Authority.
Breakthrough cases do occur, but they're very, very rare. And what we do know is that the the current surge is fueled by primarily people who are not vaccinated.
It's worth remembering those of us who are vaccinated are still at risk.
I feel really lucky. As big a pain as this is, as being stuck in the basement and feeling fatigued and coughing my lungs out and all the discomfort.
But experts say if you are vaccinated, your chances of survival are much better than if you are not.
I feel really lucky because I feel like if I wasn't vaccinated, I would be in the hospital. This would be much more serious. So I think the vaccine probably saved my life.
Pat Doris, KGW News.
Again, that's one example of a local breakthrough case, but we also know that breakthrough cases are not responsible for the recent rise we've seen in hospitalizations. We spoke with an ICU nurse at Providence, Portland, who says the people she's seeing in the ICU right now are not vaccinated, point blank. She also says for some of those people, even the most basic daily tasks are becoming nearly impossible.
People think about, oh, I'm out of breath because I just ran down the block or ran a mile. These people, within just a few days, we're asking them to turn in the bed and we're helping them and they're out of breath. Getting up and walking a few feet to go to the bathroom or to transfer to the commode at the bedside, completely out of breath. Talking, can't do it.
Again, she's a nurse in the ICU at Providence, Portland. She spells it out pretty clearly there. She also told us the patients that she's seeing right now are younger and have fewer underlying health conditions than the patients that she saw just a few months ago.
Let's get to some of the other headlines that we're tracking for you on this Friday morning. A former South Medford High School janitor turned himself in after police say he planned to carry out a mass casualty plot at the school. On July 20th, Christopher Clay went to the Medford Police Department and asked to speak to an officer. He reportedly said he was having homicidal thoughts and planned to act on them. Search warrants around Jackson County uncovered spots with guns, tactical gear, and ammunition, which Clay was not allowed to own because of a court order. Officers also swept the school to make sure there was no danger. Governor Kate Brown gave the okay for Oregon to spend more than $1 billion to renovate and cap I-5 through the Rose Quarter. Capping means the interstate would become a tunnel, allowing development for businesses and streetscaping. Crews will build one extra lane in each direction to improve access ramps between I-84 and I-405. The design is also meant to improve traffic flow and reduce accidents. And PSU students are working with the Rose City Downtown Collective to offer free marketing services to businesses this fall. The goal is to help shops and restaurants that are struggling during the pandemic. Businesses can apply on the collective's website. They'll review applications and then match each business with a team of about 10 students. And those are some of your morning headlines.